Thanks, everyone. Welcome. Again, my name is Anaga, and thanks for joining our research briefing on what's next in wellness. Before we start, I'll take you through a quick overview of what we'll be talking about in this presentation. First, we'll take a look at what is driving innovation across the wellness economy and why it's a right time right now for wellness. We'll then talk about a few established trends in the wellness space and then transition to some more emerging trends and look even further ahead. So let's jump in. The wellness economy today is worth $4.2 trillion, and we're at a time where consumers are finding traditional healthcare too expensive, but they're seeking healthier lifestyles. So what does $4.2 trillion look at like when you break it down? Well, wellness is a multi-market mega opportunity spanning every sector from nutrition to personal care to wellness tourism and a lot more. There's a lot of reasons why wellness is on the rise right now. One factor I'll point to is that consumers, especially the millennial and Gen Z population, are placing more value on health and well-being over other material goods. Additionally, in both emerging and developed markets, our consumers are spending more on wellness. With increased wealth, consumers are spending more on health and well-being services. And with social media, it's easier for brands than ever to advertise wellness, and consumers are able to buy into the wellness mentality thanks to what they're seeing on social channels. It's worth noting that the wellness industry is steeped in some controversy. Goop, Gwyneth Paltrow's wellness lifestyle brand, is probably the biggest example here. It's seen a lot of media attention for promoting different products or wellness tips that doctors and other medical professionals have questioned. And this brings up the question of whether solutions created by these wellness brands actually work. Do they do what they promise to do? Some of these brands may not be promising a tangible outcome, but it's more about feeling better for the consumer. And this also brings up concerns about greater accessibility and affordability for the larger population, as a lot of these wellness products and services are positioned as more premium offerings. And obviously there's a lot happening in the wellness space. We can see here that there's a lot happening on our CB Insights portal if you go to our collections tool and search for wellness among a variety of different collections we have. You can find that we track over 700 startups in the wellness space, and we have a market map showing how a lot of these startups are organized and what categories they play in. Before we dive into today's trends, I want to just talk about or touch on really how big the wellness opportunity is. There was a great New York Times article that circulated around the internet a few months ago that shed a lot of light on the wellness industrial complex. And what this quote really shows is that wellness has invaded every sector and virtually every part of our society. For example, 20 years ago, Lululemon had just been founded, back when yoga pants weren't the phenomenon that they are today. And last year, for the first time, the United States imported more elastic, stretchy pants than blue jeans for the first time. So this is all really just indicative of how wellness has caused a fundamental shift in our society. And it's become a 24/7 phenomenon. It's not just about going to the gym anymore, but companies need to think about wellness in the context of a day in the life of a consumer and at what different touch points brands can reach consumers to meet their wellness needs. So with that, we'll talk about 3 trends in the wellness space that are mainstream, established, and that you should already have a strategy for if applicable. First, looking at healthy fast casual dining. And it's obvious for many of us, but fast food of today isn't what it used to be 5 to 10 years ago. And today it's easier than ever to find better for you, healthier food while on the go. And wellness really begins with what you eat. And that's what Dr. Eddie Ben-Zion of Dr. Smoot is saying in this quote. Really that nutritious food is an investment in health, and it's ultimately cheaper to treating a disease in the long term. And the fast casual market represents a huge opportunity. It's expected to grow to $67 billion by 2020. So there's already quite a huge demand for food on the go. And a lot of these healthy fast casual chains that have become so staple in today's world have used content, community, and technology to compete with incumbent brands and turn themselves into lifestyle brands. Sweetgreen is a great example of this. The company just became a unicorn last month, and it's done things like using blockchain for supply chain, even expanding its office delivery program. It just partnered with WeWork, for example. It even launched a music festival. So it's really about doing things differently to encourage that customer loyalty. It's not just in our meals, though, where we're seeing healthier options. One topic that's been on a lot of people's minds is wellness at work and healthier office spaces. By some estimates, we spend over 13 years of our life on average working, so it's clear that there's a lot of impetus for healthier work environments. And there's a lot of players who have a stake in workplace wellness. Big corporations obviously want healthier, more productive employees, and of course, lower insurance costs. And for employees, they're increasingly looking for healthier office spaces. A variety of benefits platforms are starting to partner more with startups to bring wellness benefits to their employees, things like fitness classes, bringing fitness trackers, stress management services, and a lot more. And offices are moving beyond just the traditional corporate wellness programs to start offering more wellness services and products and become more wellness hubs. And this is helping brands to really think more about how they're being distributed and marketed within work environments. For example, as seen with food and beverage brands that are solely distributed in offices. Additionally, co-working spaces are offering more wellness benefits, such as The Wing and WeWork, as well as other types of productivity-focused office formats. So ultimately, these offices can increase wellness products and services to boost employee productivity, happiness, retention, and more. Similarly to how wellness is being extended into the workplace, the travel sector is using wellness to premiumize travelers' experiences. And this is happening across the entire travel value chain. For example, hotels and hospitality players can think about using wellness to compete with Airbnb and other shared rental offerings. And airports are also recognizing that consumers are more and more viewing wellness as a lifestyle, something that they want to participate in on a regular basis, and something that shouldn't be interrupted just because they might have to travel. And they're starting to cater more to consumers' desires and needs, from incorporating healthy foods and beverages into airports to bringing in airport gyms and spa offerings. And really, by integrating such wellness offerings, they can make it more enticing for people to want to fly out of specific hubs. Airlines themselves are also partnering more with companies to launch their own wellness initiatives to bring wellness into flights, especially longer haul flights or premium offerings for business travelers. Again, things like healthy foods, a lot of meditation services from companies like Headspace and Calm, plus beauty and personal care products, as seen with Emirates on the right. And this really represents a huge opportunity for airlines. And this isn't just happening on flights. Cruises is another interesting space that's taking a note of enhanced wellness and fitness offerings. For example, Blue World Voyages just launched, or is going to launch, a luxury cruise line for health and wellness enthusiasts for 2019. So really, new types of offerings are emerging to meet the demands of wellness travelers, including fitness-branded hospitality with players in the fitness space like Equinox and ClassPass that are expanding more into hospitality with things like luxury hotels, tours, wellness and booking services. ClassPass, for example, recently launched Getaways, which offer day-long wellness experiences. So these represent players that could get more into the travel space or be good partners for the industry down the line. So now that we've covered some established wellness trends, let's take a look at 3 emerging trends. And these trends really highlight how big the wellness opportunity has become. And as a result, new products, services, and markets have been established that have not existed previously. First, taking a look at ingredient transparency. So we're all familiar with the natural and organic boom that's happened in the food world, primarily driven by players such as Whole Foods. And this trend has gripped the beauty and personal care world as well. Cosmetic labels have become more complicated, and consumers are becoming savvier in terms of knowing what's in their products. Regulation is starting to play a bigger role in the beauty industry, ultimately giving more purview to regulate product ingredients. And these regulations could be approached not just from a personal care standpoint, but also healthcare, environmental, animal rights, with things or initiatives such as eliminating toxins from products, making sunscreens reef safe, etc. And new products on the private market side are emerging that promote ingredient transparency, including ingredient apps, as well as companies like EpigenCare on the right, which are combining epigenetics with artificial intelligence to bring personalized skincare recommendations. And with the momentum that ingredient transparency is having, bioengineered ingredients could be the future of cosmetics. Cosmetic chemistry, it's obviously a very lab-based process, but the same way that organic foods and lab-grown foods have emerged, the same trend is happening in personal care with bioengineered ingredients that could help with ingredient sourcing. And this could be particularly helpful for natural and organic brands that might have trouble with ingredient sourcing or specific ingredients because of climate conditions. And biotech startups, as seen on the top, have been exploring such use cases, such as Ginkgo Bioworks, which is genetically engineered fermentation of yeast to produce rose oil for fragrance applications, as well as Geltor on the top right-hand corner, which has produced an animal-free collagen for cosmetics use cases. Another emerging trend is sexual wellness products, which is enabling new ways of purchasing goods and greater accessibility. And this is primarily a movement driven by women. Polly Rodriguez, the founder of women's sexual wellness startup Unbound, asked, should we be surprised that it's women entrepreneurs who see just how big pleasure and wellness can become? And this really alludes to the broader conversation on and greater investment happening in products and services targeting women. And this movement is very much being enabled by the rise of the online channel in terms of changing the way consumers are buying sexual wellness products and bringing these products to mass market. It's also destigmatizing and normalizing the purchase and conversation around intimate products. And this online-offline continuity can also be seen with women's health clinics beyond just sexual care products. Women's health clinics, both virtual and brick and mortar, are increasingly integrating wellness amenities, thanks to greater demand for more personalized and holistic levels of care for women. Finally, wellness has become so embedded in our society that we're even transferring our obsession to our pets. Broader pet tech funding has exploded in 2019, and corporate activity is also on the rise, from Mars Pet Care launching a $100 million pet tech fund to SoftBank investing $300 million in Wag, a dog walking app. And I think this meme is pretty apt, but I think the point here of trying to get across is that a lot of the products, services, and technologies that have come for the human world are already coming for your pets. And wellness is a great lens through which to view some of the changes happening in the pet tech world, from all natural pet food to fitness trackers for your pets, and in case you're wondering, there are now cannabis-based supplements for your pets. I'd like to end on two final trends, also emerging, but even further out, that show, again, just how pervasive, how encompassing, and frankly, how consuming that the wellness economy has become. And these trends really show that wellness is coming for us in our personal home environments. For example, connected advertising is allowing consumer data gathered from IoT-enabled devices to be leveraged by brands to advertise wellness. For example, an Amazon patent where Alexa could proactively suggest that a consumer might purchase chicken soup if they sound sick or sneeze. Or Kinsa Smart Thermometer has experimented with telling companies where to advertise based on data on fevers and temperatures. Wellness real estate is another really interesting area. There's been the rise of these multi-million-dollar residential real estate communities integrating smart home technology and wellness amenities. Energy-efficient buildings also play into this. But again, both of these trends really reflect wellness moving beyond just standalone products and services to it becoming more deeply embedded into our environments. And that's all we have for today. Again, thank you so much for listening, and I'll go ahead and open it up for some questions. We're seeing a couple of questions on healthcare and the role that wellness might play in consumer health or preventative health. It's definitely starting to play a huge role. Noted it in talking about some of the women's health clinics like Tia and Maven, as well as the broader women's health movement beyond just sexual wellness, fertility care, period care products, etc. And beyond women, I think this is also affecting men, of course, with companies like Hims and Keeps and Roman, which are approaching men's sexual health from a wellness standpoint. So that's definitely one area. Let's see, wearable wellness tech, overhyped or underhyped? If we're talking about fitness trackers and that sort of thing, I would say overhyped. Consumer hardware is just generally a tough category. Plus, it's not really clear how much fitness trackers affect health or even lower consumers' healthcare costs. And also definitely growing concerns of how fitness data could ultimately be used. So definitely something to keep in mind. I think we have time for just one more question. Let's see, what does a future of accessible and affordable wellness look like? I think this is a really important question. I touched upon it very briefly at the beginning, but I did speak about wellness real estate, for example. There's a lot more affordable mixed income housing serving as a frontier for wellness. More immediately, though, mobile technologies have definitely played a big role in democratizing wellness. A lot of these mobile fitness apps with even bigger players like Peloton and ClassPass have launched free or more affordable mobile offerings in tandem with their premium products. Additionally, meditation apps and mental wellness apps such as Headspace and Shine are also helping to fuel more affordability. But again, I think it's a really important question. So that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again for listening, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or would like to continue the conversation. Thanks.